little hoarse today. But welcome to my channel, Educated Queen. Here we're going to talk about life, education, being in the classroom, outside of the classroom, hot topics in the news, things that are going on in the news, and things that just, grinds my gears. So I got a good one today. Let's start there. So we went on a field trip this week. Met my class. We went on a field trip. So I guess I'll tell you a little bit about the field trip first. Okay. Fun times, right? Except for the fact that there were 50 other schools. And I'm exaggerating, but I know it had to be. I may not be exaggerating. It was a lot of other different schools there. My kids had fun. Yeah, that was the main thing. So what grinded my gears about this was my class had to be separated into 3 different groups. I have 25 kids. So my group, I had a parent with me. So I asked my parent, could you stay here with my kids for just a moment while I go get me something to drink? So I went over to the little cafeteria / store that they had inside of the place. All I wanted was a drink, but the drink wasn't that cold, so I wanted some ice. I didn't see any cups. So when I got to the register, I saw the cups there. So I said, can I have a cup for ice? And she gave me a little small cup. But there was a large cup that I said, can I get the large cup? I'll pay for it, This lady said to me, I can give you the large cup. Just make sure you don't put any soda in it. So I said, excuse me. This is word for. I said, excuse me. Yeah, I can get. I said, I'll pay extra. If you. She said, just make sure you don't put any soda in it. I said, ma'am, this is what I'm putting in on the ice. I had a Pepsi. And then because my kids were standing there watching, I said, that's insulting. Now, let me tell you something I did that was so petty. There was another worker there that was like she was cleaning up. So after I went over and got my ice, I said, excuse me, ma'am. Do you know the lady that works at the register? She said, yes, ma'am, I know her. And I said, could you please tell her that the lady she gave the large cup to did not put any soda in her cup. It did not put any soda in her cup. All she got was ice. Would you do that for me? The lady is like, the look on her face, she was shame or embarrassed. But I was serious. Because don't play with me. So I had a conversation about this with one of my coworkers. Hey, bestie, if you're watching, I love you. So I told her what happened. So she's the type of person, she sees the good in everybody, and that's not a bad thing. She wants to rationalize things first. Okay. This is really why I told her, because I wanted to get her point of view. I wanted to see what she was going to say. And so she said, now, wait a minute. Because she know me, and I guess she could see or guess how I responded to it, but I did not respond how I would have responded if I was alone, or if this was not a school event. So she said, "Well, we never know what people bosses tell them to do," and she said, "Our people have a reputation for doing things like that. And these people may be under a lot of pressure to, it's essentially stealing." Yeah, I get that. It's stealing, and we don't know. People probably go in there and do it all the time, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Now, if I would have asked her for a cup, if I had said, ma'am, may I have a cup? Then I feel that what she said, that comment would have been warranted. Okay. But I did not just go up to her and ask for a cup. Mind you, the drink was $5, a 20 ounce. So that wasn't even on my mind going to, because we've all done that before. I've done it before. But the fact that you felt it necessary to say, don't put any soda in it. Now, what you could have done was said something like, oh, yes, ma'am, I can give you the large cup. Don't shoot the messenger now, but I want you to know that my boss, don't want to make sure no one, I only use it for ice. Something like that. That pissed me off. I mean, it really pissed me off. Because the nerve. What y'all think? What would you have done? Would you have said, oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, gotcha. That just brings me back to things like when I go in a restaurant, or if my order's not correct, or if I don't like the attitude of somebody who's serving me, or if I'm going somewhere, I'm spending money at your establishment and I'm treated a certain way. That is what I equate that situation to. Because why not? I've left places. I've had let me think of time. Walmart. I just don't really go on Walmart because I've left an entire bug in Walmart. I just feel that if you now y'all don't get me wrong. I don't think I'm bougie, don't think I'm uppity or nothing like that, because I've been the person. I've worked in restaurant jobs, service jobs, fast food jobs. I work with the public, and you have to be a certain way when you're working with people. And if you're not a people person, then don't work with the public. If you don't know how to talk to people, don't work with the public. It's not for you. If you are not or if you're a person that easily gets offended, maybe a service job is not for you. I don't expect you to do anything less than your job. I expect a certain level of service. With this situation, she just could have said it a better way. She could have said it a better way. And it's not like I visit this place all the time. I ask for a cup all the time. And she's seen me get put drink in my cup when I ask for ice. No, that's not the case. But I have been in establishments to where I've had to ask for the manager. Don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it because now let's say if I'm in a restaurant and I know there have been times, but oh my God, I can't even think of anything right now. Oh, I got the perfect one, y'all. Okay. Me and my kids went to Six Flags. It was Friday night or something like that. And I don't ride rides at all. I just was there for the experience. I just went, just to be with my, family day or something like that. I wasn't, but my daughter convinced me to get on this ride. So before we got on the ride, the lines were pretty long. And my daughter, they were already in line. And I was at the back. Now, there were people in line and other people, like they were holding their place basically, and people were coming to get in their spots. So I went to do that, right? I don't know. Maybe it's something about me. Y'all tell me if it's just me. It may be me. So this girl went and I walked past this group of females, and I went got in line with my kids, and she said, why you feel like you can get ahead of me? We've been in line, we've been waiting. We've been waiting. Who do you think you are? Like, type, you know? And I had to look around because it was like 3 other people who had went before me, but she decided to stop me. Again, I'm not a difficult person, y'all. I'm not. If this little girl would have said, ma'am, 3 people already done went and got in that spot. Not 20 or 30. People were in line already, and they were just waiting on one more person because it had to be. You had to have 4 people on this ride, and they were getting, one more person. Had she been like, ma'am, they've already went ahead of me. Can we go ahead and go? She didn't do that. She went. She said so much. At that point, I was not at a school event. I was with my family. The security guard had to come over there. Okay. I don't want you guys to think that I'm confrontational because I'm not. I'm not. That leads me into the next thing that I want to talk about. People give a black women the angry black woman title. Was I displaying that, you guys? At the museum, I didn't. I wanted to so bad. But all I said was, that's insulting, ma'am. But at Six Flags, there was a horse of a different color. Angry black women. Let's talk about it. Where does that title come from? Does that title come from men? I know I watch different interviews with black actresses and how some of them have been labeled as being difficult to work with. And then when you go and read the full story, or when you go down a rabbit hole and do a little more research, it wasn't that at all. I think people are afraid or offended or would rather not deal with the strength of a black woman. Black women do not always want to be strong. We don't want to be strong. We don't want to be the one who's always seen as difficult or confrontational or angry. My opinion, I'm not difficult. I'm not angry. But what you're not going to do is push. I'm not a pushover. I think they get a lot of things confused with confidence, with strength. So that label is inaccurate. We have had to fight. We've had to fight not to we've had to fight for our innocence. We've had to fight for our rights. We've had to fight for more money. We've had to fight to exist. So it's not anger. It's a combination of things. So what people see a lot of times when it's a blow up, when it's reached that level, when we're uncontrollable, you don't know what led up to that. You're seeing the end result of being tired. We're tired of being controlled, tired of being labeled, tired not having what's rightfully ours, tired of being trying to manipulated and controlled. We're just tired. And more recently, we have I guess they did some type of surveys or studies, and we are now the most undesirable race. And I'm just like, whoa. Who y'all talking to? Who you interview? Where you get them facts from? Because those are not facts. It's just funny to me that we're the most undesired race, but we're the most duplicated, or people try to duplicate the black woman. The most undesired, but everybody, every other race, walk around here trying to get this, trying to get this look, this color, and not just mine. I'm not talking about the lightness. I'm talking about the melanin, the hips, the thighs, the butt, the hair, everything that we were naturally born with. You want it. You want to try to imitate that, but you could never. And that's for whoever. The most undesirable. Please. Please. Y'all, we have to stop. I'm talking to my people now. When the world do us like they do us, when the world does our men, try to do our men, we're the one who protect you. I could never, ever date outside my race. And I'm not racist. I love everybody. Every single body. Everybody. Color, you could be black, blue, green, orange, red, purple, gray, whatever. I genuinely love everybody. But there's nothing more attractive than a 5'11", 6 foot, dark skin, low cut, I don't do the dreads, black man. I don't want to know no other race. Get somebody else to do it. But when it comes to us, we're not protected. Why is that? We're fighting against each other. We're competing with each other instead of coming together. Do you guys know what could happen if black women work together? Not even the men. If just the women get together and work together. Girl, I see it sometime, but not nearly enough. We will be unstoppable. We have already overcome so much, and we're still overcoming. Everything they throw at us, we overcome it. Everything, no matter what it is, that comes from this strength that we have built up from the issues that we've been through. And instead of giving out and throwing in the towel and giving up, we waver through it. We flow through it. And we come out not looking, not acting like we've been through, like what we've been through. Let me move on a little further, a little bit deeper. When I talked about when I said we don't work together, we don't come together. Let's talk about black women in power. Black women in leadership positions. Now, let me say, I'm in education, and I have a principal who is also a black woman. And let me tell you, when I first started, we had a conversation, we talked, and, I thought everything was going to be, well, I know everybody have their issues, but I believe this is what happened. She perceived me one way, and I perceived her to be one way. And we found out it wasn't that way for either one of us. So at one point, I did not like my principal. Get somebody else to do it. I'm done. However, This lady has poured into me. She has taught me. She has trained me. She has coached me. She has really, I feel like I can go to any school, any district, any campus, and to be and succeed from what she's taught me. And I appreciate her because a lot of things she do, she don't have to do it. And she always say that she says she's firm, but she's fair, and she really is. And some things she do, we may not understand it, but there's a reason for everything that she. We don't always hear what's been said to her about certain things. So her delivery may not be as I would like, but she gets her point across, and I understand her reasoning. I can honestly say that this lady does always does what's best for children. I have grown to love her. There was a point when I was dealing with this earlier this year, actually, so many things. Like life was really life. And I called her, and I just felt defeated. And, you know, she could have just been like, I was calling her to tell her what was going on, and I wasn't going, come to work. I wasn't going to be able to come to work. And she could have just been like, okay, thanks for calling, sorry to hear that, thanks for calling, and it been over with. No, this lady poured into me, and I felt the love, I felt the care, I felt the compassion, I felt it was genuine. Like, and I needed that because I don't get that all the time. Like, my mom passed in 2006, and that's what I felt like that mother side of her come out, and I appreciate her for that. I really do. That's why I feel like even though she's hard sometimes, I feel like I can tough it out with whatever it is. And so I was just telling you a little bit about my supervisor. She's a black lady, but I have had other supervisors who were same race as me, and sometimes the things that they did, they were mean, they were evil, they were conniving, they were uncalled for. People, they were. It was like sometimes you would think that we had issues outside of work. Yeah. My plea to my people, my sisters, let's build something, because we have a generation coming behind us, and we need to pour in them as much as we can. But first, we got to get it together. We have to show them that we're not how the world sees us. That's not us. We need to get together, work together, so we can show the generation now and the generations to come that black women can work together. We can grow. We can build. We can make money together. We can. Seriously, guys, we can. Okay, so I'm gonna end with this. There are 10 commandments, but God said the greatest commandment above them all is to love. Love. I often sit and think about that, like love, love, love. Like, I do love. But do we really? My husband and I, yesterday was our 20th wedding anniversary and 26th anniversary of us being together. That's a lot. And when I sit back and think about how we've made it this far, how we've toughed it out, it was because of love. He genuinely, wholeheartedly loves me, and I genuinely, wholeheartedly love him. When you love someone, you can love them past their flaws. You can love them past mistakes. You can love them out of things. You can love them through things. You can love them to things. Come on now. Love. And that's just not dealing with a marriage. That's any situation, any relationship. Love. If you can love someone, then a lot of things won't matter, because this is what I think about. Over the last maybe 2 years, there are people that I knew and grew up with. One couple I didn't necessarily grow up with, but they were from my hometown. I knew them, we didn't hang out or anything like that, but they probably knew me, I knew them. But this one couple, I actually was my classmate, and I grew up with, we grew up together. Well, we didn't grow up, but we went to high school together, and his wife was from my same hometown, and we kind of grew up in the same area doing the same things. And they lost their spouse. That means the person they've been waking up to for the last 10, 15 years, they're gone. Think about that. You've been with somebody 20 years and God see fit to call them home. You're not waking up to that person anymore. It's over with. Would that change the way you treated them? Would that change the things that you would decide, that you would argue about? Would that change the things that you get mad about, or how often you get mad, or things that used to make you mad? Would you still care? Think about that, y'all. We only have one life to live. Seriously. So let's love. Let's love our neighbors, love our friends, love our children, of course, love our spouses, love our family. Love strangers. You can do that. How can you love somebody you don't know them? Easy. Don't hurt them. Help when you can. Help if you can. And if you can't help them, most definitely don't hurt them. All right, guys. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment. You have a question, put it down there also. And if you have not yet, subscribe. Over here, down there. Gab is going to put it up there for me. I enjoyed this conversation with you guys today. And here's to a million more. Bye-bye.